For a long time, I didn't realize what was exhausting me. It wasn't failure, it wasn't uncertainty, it wasn't even fear. It was the constant need to prove I was right, to prove I was capable, to prove I deserved what I wanted, to prove that my intuition wasn't naive, to prove that my vision wasn't delusional. Every decision carried an invisible weight, the need for validation after the fact. Every desire felt incomplete unless reality immediately confirmed it. And the strange part is this. The more proof I demanded, the further reality seemed to move away. Opportunities stalled. Momentum collapsed. Manifestation felt delayed, conditional, fragile. Until one moment changed everything. I didn't get more evidence. I didn't receive confirmation. I didn't finally win. I let go of the version of me that needed proof. And that's when reality began responding differently. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you is not motivational. It's structural. And once you see it, you'll recognize exactly where manifestation has been breaking down in your life. Here's what most people never question. They believe doubt is the enemy. They believe faith is something you add. They believe confidence comes after results. But that's not how reality works. The version of you that needs proof is not logical. It's defensive. It's a self-built during moments when trust failed, when expectations collapsed, when believing without guarantees felt unsafe. Needing proof feels responsible. It feels intelligent. It feels mature. But underneath it, there's something else operating. A subtle contract with reality that says, I will believe after you show me. I will relax after you confirm. I will step forward after certainty appears. And the universe does not respond to that contract. Because proof is not a neutral request. It's a signal. A signal that says, I do not trust what I cannot already see. And reality reflects that lack of trust with precision. So the question becomes uncomfortable, but necessary. What if the delay isn't because manifestation is slow? What if it's because the observer is still waiting? Let's dismantle this carefully. The version of you that needs proof believes something fundamental. That reality is separate from you. That it must convince you. That it must earn your belief. But in quantum mechanics, observation is not passive. The observer doesn't wait for reality. The observer participates in its formation. Reality does not move first. The observer does. When you require proof, you are observing from lack, from hesitation, from mistrust. And that observation collapses a very specific outcome. A reality that withholds, not as punishment, not as judgment, but as coherence. Reality mirrors the state of the observer with ruthless accuracy. This is why two people can apply the same techniques, repeat the same affirmations, visualize the same outcomes, and experience completely different results. One is observing from certainty, the other is observing from contingency, and contingency never stabilizes. Here's the truth most manifestation teachings avoid. Needing proof is a form of resistance, not loud resistance, not conscious resistance, but a quiet internal friction that says, I'm not safe unless I know. And safety-seeking collapses the smallest possible future. The version of you that needs proof is not interested in expansion. It's interested in protection. Protection of ego. Protection of identity. Protection of past wounds. That version doesn't want alignment. It wants guarantees. But guarantees don't exist at the level where reality reorganizes. That level operates on coherence. And coherence requires something radical. Acting without confirmation. Not recklessly, not blindly, but internally resolved. Here's where most people get confused. They think letting go of proof means pretending. It doesn't. It means no longer negotiating with reality. It means no longer asking, is this working yet? Am I doing it right? Where is the sign? Why hasn't it happened? Because the moment you ask those questions, you reveal the observer. And the observer is still waiting. I realized this the hard way. I noticed that every time I demanded evidence, my nervous system tightened. My perception narrowed. My body leaned forward into anticipation. I wasn't aligned. I was monitoring. Monitoring is not creation. Monitoring is control. And control is rooted in fear. even when disguised as logic. So I stopped asking reality to convince me. Instead, I observed myself. I asked one precise question before every decision. Am I acting because I know, or because I want reassurance? The answer was uncomfortable. Most of the time, it wasn't knowing. It was hope mixed with anxiety. That state cannot sustain manifestation, because manifestation doesn't respond to hope. It responds to embodiment. Here's the distinction that changes everything. The version of you that knows does not wait. It moves calmly, silently, without urgency. The version of you that needs proof rushes or freezes. It oscillates between effort and doubt, action and hesitation, faith and withdrawal. That oscillation collapses instability. So I made a decision, not a dramatic one, not a public one, an internal one. I let go of the version of me that needed proof. I didn't fight it. I didn't shame it. I thanked it. That version kept me safe when certainty wasn't available. It helped me survive confusion. It helped me avoid reckless trust. But it was no longer necessary. Survival is not the same as creation. And here's what happened next. Nothing exploded overnight. No fireworks. No instant miracles. Something subtler occurred. My body relaxed. Decisions felt quieter. Choices required less analysis. I stopped checking outcomes prematurely. And reality began moving, not faster, but cleaner. Resistance dissolved, timing improved, encounters aligned. Not because I believed harder, but because I stopped waiting. Waiting is the signature of the one who needs proof. Certainty is the signature of the one who observes from alignment. This is why manifestation fails for so many people. They are trying to create from a version of themselves that is still asking permission, still asking confirmation, still asking for safety. But reality doesn't reward caution. It mirrors signal. And the signal of needing proof says, I am not yet convinced. So reality remains unconvinced as well. This is not punishment. It's resonance. The moment you release the need for proof, something profound happens neurologically. Your nervous system exits anticipation. Your perception widens. Your decisions come from coherence instead of fear. And coherence is magnetic, not emotionally, energetically. Reality organizes around stable observers. That's why grounded people experience luck. That's why certainty attracts opportunity. That's why alignment feels effortless. They're not waiting for proof. They're broadcasting completion. Letting go of the version of you that needs proof doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means trusting your internal calibration more than external confirmation. It means choosing before evidence arrives, not impulsively, but decisively. It means understanding this fundamental law. Reality does not respond to what you want. It responds to who is observing. The version of you that waits will keep waiting. The version of you that knows will keep receiving. You don't need to force belief. You don't need to silence doubt. You only need to stop negotiating with reality. The moment you do, the observer stabilizes. And when the observer stabilizes, the timeline reorganizes. I let go of the version of me that needed proof. And in that release, something remarkable happened. Reality stopped testing me. It started responding. Not because I proved anything, but because I no longer needed to. And that changed everything.